Choosing what's good for a child, including what they eat, is every parent's right. So when should the government be able to step in? Well, let's get more on this with Steve Siebold. He's the author of the aptly named Die Fat or Get Tough. He joins me from Tampa in Florida. Thank you so much for joining us. There will be cities around the world looking at what San Francisco's doing. Do you think they would be right to copy them?
Absolutely not. It's the government's overreach into private business, and it's a slippery slope that's got to stop.
But the government has a responsibility to teach people and inform people about what's healthy and what's not, particularly when children are involved.
I don't think that's the government's job. The government's job is to protect us and keep us safe, and that's the job of the school system is to educate kids and parents and the rest of it, not the government's job. It's just a clear overreach into private business.
But they're not telling parents not to buy the meals, they're just making them a bit less tempting, aren't they? They're not, it's not a diktat, it's just fiddling with things.
Well, it's the beginning, that's the problem. So what's next? Are we going to cancel Halloween? I mean, we've all gone out on Halloween and eaten too much candy. It's a tradition all over the world. But are they going to cancel Halloween now? They're going to tell us we can't do that either. Where does it stop, Max? That's my problem with this.
But when does a meal stop being healthy?
Well, I think it's a parent's responsibility. I mean, if a parent is taking a kid to McDonald's every night and eating 640-calorie meals, that's the parents, and that's their responsibility. That's up to them. But it's not the government's job to parent their, children. It's the parents' job.
Okay, this does come into government planning more often than many people would realise. Britain's communications watchdog, for example, Ofcom, not part of the government but a regulator, has banned junk food advertising around all children's programming aimed at under 16-year-olds. This is a similar sort of thing, isn't it? Do you disapprove of that as well?
Well, we're missing the solution to the problem, which is really mental toughness, which is discipline, which is putting down foods that are unhealthy and picking up foods that are healthy, and parents educating their kids on how to do this. I mean, that's really what's going to solve this whole obesity epidemic, but we keep going around the issue, and the issue is just mental toughness and discipline. But people don't want to say that because it's politically incorrect. That's why I wrote my book.
But in the British example, for example, aren't they just helping parents out a bit? The children see these adverts and they want the meals, or they want the junk food that they're seeing during their programs, and they're pestering their parents. Surely it's fine just to sort of avoid those adverts during those programs, doesn't it? Help the parents out a bit?
Wouldn't we be better off going after the terrorists that are plaguing the world right now? I mean, don't we have bigger problems than trying to teach parents how to do their job?
Is there no point at which government should get involved in these sorts of decisions?
I don't think so. I don't think the government should be telling us or mandating how businesses do business, or how we teach our children, or how we run our lives. It's not what they're there for. Not in a free economy, a free market.
If we go back to the San Francisco case, do you think it'll make any difference anyway, whether or not you take the toy out?
No, I don't think it's going to make. Kids are going to get what they want. They're going to convince their parents if the parents are susceptible to that kind of coercion, and they're going to get it anyway. It's like drugs. If people are going to, if they want it, they're going to find it. You might as well legalize it.
Steve Siebold, thank you very much indeed. It seems nothing polarizes parents as much as the happy